Well, a village at every stage of life is an important support system for our physical, mental, and emotional health. So joining us now is Florence Ann Romano, personal growth strategist and author. And this is a topic, when I saw this come through, I was like, oh, I need help with this. And we're basically talking about making friends and having a support system. So you talk about villagers. And so what are the 6 types of villagers that you have identified?
Accepting, dependable, cheerleader, communicator, healer, and organizer. Now I'm gonna say something without me even giving a definition. Are you already starting to cast people in your head?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, 100%. And I'm trying to make sure that I have the whole cast, you know, because as we get older, it's very easy to sort of lose touch with people and feel like maybe you're a burden and you don't want to bother people, especially if you're in different places in your life. So how do you identify these potential villagers?
You know, asking for help seems to be the global common denominator that we all have. So hard to do. But it's an easier lift than you think it is. As you look at your landscape of your life, your individual ecosystem, these people probably exist. But here's the challenge. For the people that don't exist, how do you go out and find them? And then secondly, who are you in other people's villages? Because that also helps you identify what you need as well. Because maybe you're the one that's giving all the time, and you're like, where's the reciprocity here? I'm not feeling supported at all. And it also might be that you have these people in your life, but they're in the wrong seats. Your accepting villager really isn't your accepting villager. They're really your organizer. You need to flip those seats, because that's why that person's failing you all the time, or you feel like you're so depleted, is because you haven't cast them in the right role.
And so you mentioned there that being a part of a village it's about give and take. So people,
Yes.
you know, when I complain about not having any friends, my sister points this out to me a lot, like, well, how much are you reaching out and how much are you giving? And so
Right.
how do you make sure that you foster those villager qualities in yourself so that you're ready to reciprocate that relationship?
There's the saying, who waters you? You know, you put your oxygen mask on first. It's the only way you're going to be able to take care of other people. So the common denominator here too with all 6 of those villagers is being consciously compassionate. It's showing up for people. It's understanding that you accept people for who they are, not who you want them to be, and that it's a relationship. It goes both ways. So maybe it's you reaching out a little bit more because someone's going through a transition or a crisis moment, and that's okay. That's your arms around them during that moment, but it shouldn't always be that way. So make sure you check yourself before you wreck yourself, before you go out there and say, hey, no one's really paying attention to me. No one's really helping me. No one's showing up for me. Well, what are you doing? Are you showing up for them in the right ways too? So check yourself before you wreck yourself.
And you talk about the importance of a primary as well as a secondary village. So what's the difference? What's the overlap between the two?
So primary is your ride or die. That's your friends or family that you're with all the time. And then your secondary, I'm going to use a funny example, but it's true, could be your barista. You see that person every single day, and they're giving you your caffeine fix, and you know about their family, their friends, their life, because you talk to them more than you talk to anyone else. That's a secondary villager. And of course, you know, that person can exist in both villages. It can be also someone too that's in your community. It can be a next door neighbor that's in your secondary village, or perhaps permeates that line of your primary. You can look at these different people in your life and think, okay, maybe right now they're in my primary village. Maybe right now I'm talking to them more often, or they need me, or I need them more often. But they're going to slide back into that secondary category because the need is no longer there. Maybe it's someone in the community that just had a baby, and you're putting together a meal train for them because they are overwhelmed and they have 5 kids already, and you are part of their primary village at that moment. But after kind of that transition in life goes away, you're going to move back into that secondary category. Doesn't make you less effective, doesn't make you less valuable. It just shows you that this kind of ebbs and flows as your life transitions.
Okay, so this is, I think this is the most important. This is what the question people are waiting for.
Yeah.
Let's say you've moved, or if you've lost your community, or you're starting from zero.
Yeah.
How
Yes.
do you build that village or that community?
Here's my secret sauce. I always say it's about philanthropy. Think about what makes your heart beat. What are you passionate about? Start looking in the community and thinking of ways that you can volunteer, because you know what's going to happen? You're going to do something good for the world, turn it forward. Of course, you want to do that. But secondly, and also importantly, you're going to find people that are like-minded. You're going to find people that have similar values to you. And all of a sudden, you're going to see relationships start to blossom, and that's going to open up your network too.
Yes, I think that is the most important and a really good piece of advice when you are not thinking about yourself and you're not constantly like, I'm so lonely, and you're giving of yourself. You really start to see, all the things that you have and all the things that you have to offer. And then it becomes a little bit easier to form those relationships and start to build a village. But it takes time. So if we want more information, we want to read your book, where can we go to get all of the knowledge?
Go to FlorenceAnnRomano.com or follow me on social media, Florence Ann Romano. I answer every DM I get, because I may not be right next to you, physically next to you, but I am your virtual village, and we can talk through all of this stuff together. And the book, Build Your Village, is everywhere books are sold.
All right, Florence Ann, you're in my village now. I've slowly grown it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And up next, we're busting some myths with senior care advocates. We talk estate recovery when we come back.